You are an insult to your family.
Have you ever witnessed someone destroy their entire empire with pure arrogance? The air in Chicago's exclusive Meridian restaurant was thick with the scent of money and power, a polished cage for the city's corporate elite. But the silence that descended after one man's cruel outburst was deafening. It was the silence of a CEO signing his own professional death warrant. The moment began with a shattering sound. What kind of stupid girl can't even take a simple drink order? Khalil al-Rashid, a Fortune 500 CEO, slammed his water glass down, sending ice cubes scattering. His voice boomed through the refined atmosphere, turning heads at nearby tables. Amara Williams, the waitress, stood perfectly still, her water pitcher steady despite the public humiliation. Khalil's rage was palpable. "I asked for sparkling water 10 minutes ago," he continued, his Lebanese accent thick with fury. Then, in a moment of devastating corporate snobbery, he turned to his associates, switching to Arabic with a cruel, condescending smirk. "This stupid black girl probably can't even read the menu." His business partners shifted uncomfortably, glancing nervously around the room, but Amara didn't flinch. Instead, something deadly calm settled over her face. The word stupid echoed in both languages, but only one person at that table understood them both. The entire restaurant seemed to pause, the universe itself holding its breath. Khalil's cruel laughter died in his throat as Amara straightened her shoulders and spoke. "Sir, I apologize if I seem stupid to you, but I'm confident I can understand the menu and your order perfectly." Her voice was measured, calm, and she was speaking in flawless, perfect Lebanese Arabic. Khalil's coffee cup froze halfway to his lips. His face drained of color as the words registered. No accent. No hesitation. "Would you prefer I continue in Lebanese Arabic, Egyptian, or perhaps Moroccan?" Amara continued, switching effortlessly between dialects. "I noticed your accent suggests Lebanese heritage." The glass slipped from Khalil's fingers, crashing to the Italian marble. His confident demeanor was crumbling like a house of cards. Amara wasn't finished. She leaned slightly forward, her voice dropping to a whisper that somehow carried across the now silent room, "And for future reference, calling someone stupid in Arabic doesn't make you clever. It just makes you predictable." A stunned businessman dropped his fork. The entire restaurant became an audience to this impossible moment. Restaurant manager Derek Morrison appeared, sensing the power dynamic had entirely shifted. Amara smoothly switched back to English. "I didn't realize you spoke 7 languages fluently," she told the now diminished CEO. 12 conversationally. "Now, about that sparkling water." 30 minutes later, after Khalil's table hastily departed, Derek pulled Amara aside. "How many languages do you actually speak?" he asked, genuinely curious. "Fluently, 7. Conversationally? Maybe 12 on a good day," she replied with a shrug. She had a PhD in Applied Linguistics from Northwestern University, her dissertation on cross-cultural communication. The girl who could speak to anyone found herself invisible in the job market, paying off student loans by serving the people who would never suspect the intellectual powerhouse refilling their water glasses. Her diplomas sat hidden in her closet, next to the language textbooks she still studied religiously. She proved her point by effortlessly helping a struggling Russian businessman and later giving detailed directions to lost Japanese tourists in their native tongues. "My grandmother always said languages are bridges," Amara explained. "You can cross into anyone's world if you know how to speak to their heart." Derek's mind began racing. His restaurant group was failing on international expansion due to cultural barriers. He had spent a fortune on consultants who delivered confusion. Now, videos of Amara's confrontation were going viral. #ServerGenius was trending. The internet was demanding to know her story. Derek knew this was his company's unlikely salvation, and Amara's moment of poetic justice. 3 days later, Amara, in a borrowed business suit, joined an emergency corporate meeting with Khalil al-Rashid's consortium. The previous consultants had cost them a $12 million contract. Amara seized the opportunity, addressing the Arab partners directly in perfect Arabic. Khalil challenged her with complex business terminology, asking about the concept of wasta, relationship building. Without hesitation, Amara explained not just the translation, but the cultural context, Islamic banking principles, and respect protocols. She identified all the cultural landmines the expensive consultants had missed, from the wrong meeting venue to inappropriate seating arrangements. The solution isn't just translation, Amara explained. It's a cultural translation. By the meeting's end, handshakes were exchanged, and a preliminary agreement to restart negotiations was in place. Sarah Lane, the regional director, watched in awe. In 15 years of consulting, I've never seen cultural barriers dissolve that effectively. Despite internal corporate skepticism, whispers of affirmative action gone too far, Amara was given 60 days to prove her worth. Her first major test, a complex negotiation between a Korean restaurant chain and a Middle Eastern investment group. Amara greeted the Korean team in fluent Korean, seamlessly switching to Arabic for the other side. She spotted the cultural landmine immediately. The Korean menu included pork. The former consultants had missed this critical halal requirement, months of research wasted. Amara transformed the crisis into opportunity, proposing delicious halal Korean cuisine adaptations like lamb bulgogi. The deal closed in 3 hours, half the expected time. News of the $2.3 million contract exploded. #cultural fusion trended worldwide. Amara's gift was no longer hidden. She became the director of global cultural strategy, her incredible talents finally elevated to the stage they deserved. She wasn't just translating words, she was building bridges, and in doing so, she single-handedly revolutionized how a major corporation did international business. That's the story of Amara Williams, the ultimate underdog who turned prejudice into power. Her life proves that potential doesn't speak louder than prejudice until someone chooses to listen. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments below. Have you ever felt underestimated because of what you do? Drop your story. And if you love stories about poetic justice and underdog comebacks, hit that subscribe button so you never